Get ready with me for my 6-year anniversary celebration with my boyfriend. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been a hopeless romantic. I remember being a teenager and expecting every relationship and every guy I talked to be straight out of a Disney film. I very much expect my fairy tale love story from being with Ramses. But to say that I have been living in my fairy tale dream for 6 years now is insane to me. Do not get me wrong, every relationship comes with its ups and downs. Ramses and I have been through our fair share as much as any long-term couple has been through their fair share. These are some of the things I learned in the past 6 years and what I truly believe is very important for any long-term relationship. Love is supposed to evolve. There's a sense of intimacy, comfort, and partnership that happens when you're in a long-term relationship. You start to really appreciate the quiet. It almost becomes this calm and steady kind of love. We become comfortable sitting in silence with each other. We're also okay with being in the same rooms and doing completely different things. The butterflies are not going to be there all the time. It's gotten to that point where it becomes this playful kind of exchange with each other where we're just being playful and annoying each other for fun. This is the perfect segue to talk about communication. Obviously, no one wants to feel bothered all the time, so there's times when I'm not in a playful mood and there's times when he's not in a playful mood and we're both just like, you gotta chill. Knowing and understanding each other's communication pattern has been so important these past few years. Once we broke that down over the years, we started understanding each other a lot more. Communication with each other became much more effective. I'm personally a talker and Ramses is a listener, and there's times when he's a talker and I'm a listener. It really depends on the time of day or the type of day it is. Majority of the time, I am the talker. Over the years, I've just stopped comparing myself to other relationships, the things I've seen online. Once you understand your partner's communication style, things just become a lot more clear. It also allows for me to be there for him in an effective way that he needs it most, and it allows for him to be there for me in ways that I need it most. I also make it a thing where no matter how big or small anything is, we talk in depth about everything, because the small things tend to add up and the big things, they become a lot bigger if you don't talk about the nitty-gritty of any situation. So at least if it does become a problem in the future, you guys can both say, you know, we addressed this, let's just go back to that conversation and figure out how to move forward or how to move past this. The next thing that's taken me a long time to learn is understanding that conflict is not failure. I am such a huge overthinker. To this very day, I think anytime I get into any disagreement or fight with anyone at all, not even just Ramses, I feel like I failed at something. Feeling of that still lingers every now and then, but it hasn't affected me as bad as it used to. I remember I used to let a lot of things affect me for such a long period of time that it'll affect the way that I go about my day. Now I've learned to allow myself to feel those feelings, think about it, bask in it for a little bit, and not let it go longer than a few hours, maximum a day. I'm so proud of my growth. What also really matters is how you argue. You should be respectfully arguing in a way of listening to understand your partner and trying to meet halfway. Independence. Once you become dependent on a partner, it can turn very toxic. I do a lot of things like taking myself out to eat at restaurants, going on self-love dates, going on girls' trips with my girlfriends. I also make it a point to do things that I would do with Ramses, but by myself as well. We end up doing a lot of things together anyways, so this is never a problem and it should never be a problem. We also each have our own hobbies, our own friends. We just do a really great job at being there for each other and being each other's backbones in achieving those said goals. No matter what, I am always urging Ramses to go spend time with his friends and family, even if it means he has to be away from me for a night or 2 or 3. Anytime his friend says that they're doing something, I always urge him to go. Unless it's something dangerous, I always urge him to go. Over the years, little things really do start to add up. I would always stress the importance that little things matter most. Doing things like daily check-ins, small acts of kindness, having little inside jokes or romantic gestures from time to time, even if it's like once a week. I told Ramses how important receiving flowers are to me, so he makes it his mission to make sure I receive flowers at least once a month. These are the flowers I received last week. This next lesson is a pretty harsh one, but it's probably the most important one. The growth has to be mutual. Things always change, especially the longer you're with someone. Careers shift, values evolve. A relationship could only work if you grow with each other instead of apart. Patience. Patience is love in practice. Growing patience for your partner is single-handedly the most skillful thing you could probably do, especially when it comes to heterosexual relationships. Men and women just communicate so differently. The amount of times I have had to look at Ramses and think to myself, just be patient. And I'm pretty sure he's had to do the same thing with me on multiple occasions, because the male and woman mind do not think alike. Having patience and grace has been so important in our relationship. It's also helped a lot with not holding resentment, understanding that we are in a partnership. Over the years, we've learned to make decisions as a unit. We've learned to compromise with each other, meet each other halfway, help each other with our goals. Understanding that you are now working as a team is one of the most important realizations anyone in a long-term relationship can have. I am a type A planner and Ramses is very spontaneous. Over the years, we've had to learn to take a step back to try to understand how to be there and how to date each other. We have two different types of dating styles, and I think that's what makes this even more fun. It has made us step outside of our comfort zones with each other over the years, and I wouldn't want it any other way. At the end of the day, romance needs maintenance. It needs the planning, it needs the spontaneity, and the fact that we have a mix of both makes it all worthwhile. I wish I had all the time in the world because I can go on and on about this topic. This is how you keep the relationship fun after years of being together. First one home wins!